The Canadian Pacific Railway is finally complete. It has changed the Canadian history forever.
Wait a second, mister. Wait a second. Let's travel back in time and see how the Canadian Pacific Railway actually changed Canadian history.
Back in the 1800s, Canada wasn't anything like it is today. In fact, it wasn't even a country until 1867. Canada was 4 provinces large, or shall I say, small. The first 4 provinces were Ontario, Quebec, Nova Scotia, and New Brunswick. Canada's first Prime Minister was Sir John A. Macdonald. British Columbia was not part of Canada at this time because they believed they were too far and disconnected from the rest of the country. The United States was trying to get British Columbia to join them as well. But Sir John A. Macdonald had a plan. He made British Columbia a promise to build a transcontinental railway that would connect them to the rest of the country. People thought it couldn't be done, that it was too expensive and dangerous. In 1871, British Columbia believed his promise and joined the Confederation. Now the hard part begins. The land needed to be surveyed. Sanford Fleming was responsible for the 21 survey crews. These men were strong, tough, and brave. They climbed mountains, waded through swamps and rivers, even had to fight off wild animals. The final route was chosen in 1881 from Port Moody, British Columbia to Montreal, Quebec. The Canadian Pacific Railway was incorporated in 1881. The general manager responsible for this incredible project was William Cornelius Van Horn. He was a determined man and was famous for saying, "Nothing is too small to know and nothing is too big to attempt." With the help of his workers, called navies, he believed the job would get done. Life as a navy was backbreaking. Navies were responsible for laying track, clearing the path, and chopping down trees. They slept in crammed bunkhouses with no windows. 60 to 80 men would sleep in one bunkhouse at a time. They would work day in and day out and only paid about $1 to $2.50 per day. The most difficult part of building the CPR was going through the Rockies. Over 17,000 Chinese laborers were brought in to do the most dangerous jobs for little pay. These Chinese navies were treated poorly. They worked with explosives to blast through mountains, climb cliffs, building bridges, and some were buried in rock slides. Over 600 Chinese navies lost their lives. They were paid even less than the other navies, only about 75 cents to $1.25 per day. After the CPR was finished, many had no money to return home to China, and they had never saw their families again. On November 7, 1885, Donald Smith hammered in the last spike at Credgalachi, British Columbia. Finally, after 4.5 years, 3,200 kilometers of track, and the hard work of the other 30,000 people of the CPR was completed. Finally, a transcontinental railway that connects Canadians like never before. Without the CPR, there was a great chance that British Columbia would not have been part of Canada today. Now people could trade, travel, and communicate like never before.
Well, you heard them, folks. That's how the Canadian Pacific Railway changed Canadian history forever. All aboard!